Polo G is one of the hottest rappers in the game, having left the streets behind a long time ago. But his brother, Trench Baby, has one of the wildest stories in the industry, ranging from robbing cameramen to allegedly bringing the Chicago gang war to LA. Today, we're breaking it all down. Trench Baby and Polo G's family originally lived on the north side of Chicago. Polo, who's about 5 years older than Trench Baby, was already active in the streets while Trench was still a kid. Polo repped a set called 1300 Sedville, a mix of mostly Vice Lords and Mickey Cobras. On the track, Check Me Out, Polo spits, Polo waps, expletive, up, hollows penetrate, Gizzy take him out like a ditty, I hang with the LS and the snakes, but we something like gorillas and apes, from that block where we droppin' the RS. After a while, Polo G, Trench Baby, and the rest of their family moved to the southeast side of Chicago. That's when Trench Baby got into the streets, just like everyone else. Polo had already been active on the north side, but their family likely had no idea they were moving into the heart of a violent war on the south side. Back then, there was a crew on Trench Baby's new block called So IY. At first, they weren't really about gangbanging. The crew consisted mainly of rappers focused on money. They had some tension with other crews, but in the beginning, it was mostly about throwing hands, not killing. That changed in 2010, though it's unclear what exactly sparked the issue, so IY began clashing with a set called the AB. Rumors say that members of the AB tried to kill Tay Savage, one of So IY's most prominent members. Tay Savage survived the shooting, but things escalated quickly. Tay's homie Welch allegedly went to the AB's territory seeking revenge, but the tables turned, and Welch was killed instead after that. So IY began calling themselves Welch World in honor of their fallen friend and went to war with the AB. But their beef wasn't just with the AB, they had also linked up with two other crews, Lawless 035 and Rock Nation 027, forming a supergroup known as 757. According to rumors, two 757 affiliates, Cess and Nuh, were involved in killing Welch, which led to even more retaliation. Tay Savage, seeking vengeance, reportedly caught a target named Cess, and it said that Tay started following Cess around. Looking for his opportunity, Cess had parked her car, and that's when Tay Savage allegedly hopped out and shot her twice. She fell to the ground, and Tay Savage reportedly stood over her, saying, "I told you, expletive," before continuing to shoot. A couple of months later, Tay Savage allegedly found NE and killed him as well. Sources say this is why the war between 757 and Welch World escalated. Cess and NE were highly respected in their crew, and their deaths turned the conflict into something far more intense. Tay Savage was arrested for the murders of Cess and NE after witnesses claimed they saw him pull the trigger. However, he ended up beating both cases because the killer was wearing a mask, making it impossible for the witnesses to identify him for sure. Despite clearing the murder charges, Tay Savage was convicted on an armed robbery charge and spent about 8 years in prison before being released in 2022. By the time Trench Baby moved into Welch World territory, the situation was already wild. What makes Trench Baby's street activity even crazier is that by then, his brother Polo G was already a millionaire. Polo G graduated high school and was accepted to Lincoln University for a degree in broadcasting. But instead of attending college, he decided to pursue music and started dropping tracks on SoundCloud in 2018. It didn't take long for him to blow up, gaining traction with songs like Gang With Me, Welcome Back, and Finer Things. By 2019, he made it to the Billboard Hot 100 with Pop Out, featuring Lil TJ. As Polo's rap career took off, things started to change in Chicago. Trench Baby recalled how everyone knew he was Polo's brother, making it a bit crazy for him back in the city. The family lived in Chicago for about 6 months, but Polo moved them to California, where they lived a completely different life. Polo came up from the trenches, but Trench Baby had a chance to avoid the streets if he wanted to. At just 14 years old, Polo took him to LA, where Polo was already making so much money. For Trench Baby's 16th birthday, Polo gifted him a 2022 Range Rover. Despite living a more comfortable life in LA, Trench Baby's friends back in Chicago were still deep in the streets. In 2020, Trench Baby's best friend Azzo was shot in the head and nearly died. Azzo, only 14 years old, was shot outside his school, with his sister also getting caught in the crossfire. Fortunately, both survived, but the situation escalated tensions between Welch World and 757. Some people from 757 mocked Azzo for getting shot, and many suspected 757 was behind the attack, although some sources pointed to OBM, another gang. A month later, Welch World allegedly retaliated, killing a member of OBM named Big Dunk. Getting out of the streets was usually the goal, but Trench Baby saw how intense things were in Chicago and chose to dive back into the street life. He started dissing the ops with tracks like F***K Your Homie and Rich Gang Banger. In these songs, he flexed about his wealth, thanks to Polo G's success. On Rich Gang Banger he raps, "Who broke little expletive? I can buy you. I come through and slide on their block like Bam Adebayo. If you want the smoke, say it's up and come get it." Trench Baby had a huge opportunity thanks to Polo G, and in 2021, Polo took him on tour. Around the same time, Polo bought their mom a big house in Atlanta. However, this almost turned deadly. After Polo and Trench Baby left the house and returned to LA, some intruders tried to break in. But their mom wasn't having it. She fired shots at the intruders, who immediately ran off. Nobody was hurt. After the incident, Polo hired 24-hour security for his mom. However, Trench Baby wanted to handle things his way. It's unclear what went down, but Trench Baby eventually ended up in jail for a short time in Atlanta. While in jail, he heard about someone bragging about the attempt on his mom's house. Clip 2. Trench Baby wanted to confront the guy who was talking about the incident, but since they were in different parts of the jail, Trench Baby didn't have a way to get to him. Clip 3. Trench Baby came home on house arrest and got back to releasing music, but at the same time, he was diving even deeper into the streets. Meanwhile, Welsh World was still facing losses.